If she had only been ugly, we would still be together.
Welcome to Tom Irrera live from the Laugh Factory. This week we have Cathy Ladman, a comedian, a humanitarian, an altruist, a Jewish American person.
Thanks.
Hi, Kath. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tom. How many years have you been doing this show?
How many years?
Yeah.
I don't know, 2.
2 years?
Wait, you like going to make me feel guilty for not asking you before?
No, I know
Wait,
that.
that's what you
no,
were
a lot of
implying.
times. No, I just wondered. But a lot of times you wait until the second year because you like to get all the, the kinks out before
I
you
really
ask,
had a lot
you
of
really ask your
jitters, as you
friends.
could tell.
What?
I really had a lot of jitters, as you could tell. Somebody said to me about, whether I was a good stand-up. I said, I don't know if I'm good, but if I ain't good by now, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to tweak in next week. Boy, it really kicked you. See, he improved.
Can you, I always, there's a joke of yours that I always quote, but I don't think, I don't know it word for word. It has to do with your, cousins, probably, I think, saying to you, you ought to get one of those sitcoms. You ought to get one of those sitcoms.
That was more reality than a joke.
Right, no, I know
Yeah.
that. But,
Well,
but
my
what
friend-
was your response to him?
I don't.
What did you say?
I never thought of that.
Yeah, I never thought
It's a good idea. Instead of working at Jimmy's Clam Bar in Bayonne,
right,
I should get a
that's what it is,
sitcom.
Jimmy's Clam Bar. Okay,
Well,
that's the part I forgot.
When I first moved to New York, my friend O'Hanlon, we used to play basketball. He was a great basketball player. And his mother said to me, first of all, she asked me if I liked opera, because I'm Italian.
Mm-hmm.
She asked me if I knew Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. And she said, why don't you do a daytime show, do a soap opera before you get a real job. I said, it's not that easy to get them. First of all, you got to be handsome. It's all right. But you think it's so
I know. They have no idea.
You know what my mother once said to me, which I loved, and we both relate to this because we know him so well.
Right.
She goes, because Bob Saget's from Philly. She goes,
Yes.
Bob Saget's from Philly, and he has 2 series. Right.
It's all about geography.
In other words, you're from Philly, you don't even have 1.
Right.
And she said to me, and she was very supportive.
Right.
But a couple times, she said, I love David Brenner.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, me and Aunt Phil went to Palumbo to see David Brenner. He wasn't funny at all. We didn't laugh the whole time. We loved to laugh. He sucked. She goes, you're just as good as he is.
He sucked. You're just as good as he is.
Thanks, Mom. And was your family supportive of you going into it?
Strained in a very backhanded way.
Backhanded way?
in a very kind of like, backhanded, sort of passive aggressive way. Like they never encouraged me.
Well, that's
Which is the negative side of
Yeah.
it. Yet, I remember when I played one time. I was at Nick's in Boston, very rough club, and in fact, I got one of the best reviews that I'd ever gotten at Nick's, and it just happened to be that I went on early in the show. And then all the other guys went on after me. Yeah, they did. And so I had a great show. Had a great show, and then Leary and Sweeney, they all went on after me. But then my mom flew up. I asked her to fly up from New York and spend the weekend with me. And she came up, and she hung out, and she really got to see firsthand what I do. What the real thing is I do. And then she came to Good Times one time.
Good Times.
And then they used to come whenever I was in New York. They would come to the comic strip, and when I was living out here, and I would come in for to visit, they would come to see me in New York. And when I opened for the Pointer Sisters in Vegas, my parents flew in.
Were they men? Pointer Sisters?
The Pointer Sisters, were they men?
They were very big.
Who's the big one? Ruth was very big.
I opened for them too at Caesars. Is that where you opened for them?
Yes, Caesars. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I know. They were real characters.
I never talked to them. They never talked to me.
No, I didn't. I mean, I spoke to them like very briefly, but they also had separate cars.
It's so funny
and,
with these fucking stars, or they think they're stars. They don't talk to you. Like, who gives a fuck?
I know. I don't know about you, but like, they had a very big band, and so they took the stars' dressing room, the sisters, and the band took the opening acts dressing room.
So you didn't have a
they gave
dressing
me a
room?
choice. They gave me a choice. They said, okay, you can share this dressing room with the band. I said, okay. And they showed me literally this supply closet and had mops and buckets.
Oh, that sounds very nice.
And gallons.
It's good for a meet and greet.
Really, gallons of cleaning fluid. I said, I'll stay with the band. You know,
Yeah.
I was very polite and, never fought for myself, But then my family, would never, they never really said ever in my whole life, you can do it. But then my sister and my brother-in-law always, like, whenever I worked on Long Island, I always stayed at their house. They always gave me one of their cars to drive, to get around for my gigs. And I always left them, like, some money on the table when I left for gas. And it was like,
Right.
it was, it was a fluid kind of relationship.
Did you get comparisons to other women? Like
From them or everybody, or
No,
in general?
from the beginning. Like, like what they say. Because I always, like, would get, like...
You mean from your family? Are you talking about from your family?
Yeah.
Now? I don't know if
Like, did they say something, Roseanne this or somebody,
I don't think I did.
No.
No.
One of the funniest questions I ever had, or whatever statement, somebody said to me, Brett Butler, you're funnier than Brett Butler. Why does she have a series?
Somebody said that to you?
Yeah. What the fuck? At first, I said, what does Brett have to do with me?
I know.
And she is a type that appeals to a lot more people in at least a big part of the South than I. It's like they don't get it.
I can't stand when people do the whole comparison thing. And I know, do they do this? I mean, did people do this in the corporate world also, do you think?
JB is really a good accountant.
I know. Did you see his filing? He's a very good filer.
think
And
so.
I
I
know
think-
you file way better than he does.
I think we put ourselves out for the criticism.
Well, we do, and also we're watched. I mean, like, and they like to kind of play.
I know. I said to a guy last week, I said, don't forget, you paid to see me. I didn't pay to see you.
Good.
So don't.
And what did he say?
Nothing. What's he going to say? He was cocky at first.
Was he complaining about you?
No, I forget the situation. Don't you
Was
remember?
Were you on stage when
Yeah,
you said this?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't say it off stage.
Oh.
Get punched in the face. So somebody said to me, they go, well, you're nothing like you are off stage. It'd be fucking obnoxious. Imagine how annoying I'd be. Hey, forget about it. Hey, blah, 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 blah. All that shit. Now, have you been doing a lot of stand-up?
Not as much. No, not as much as I used to.
Always like your stand-up.
I do. I mean, I do, and I like it still. But my life's different. I'm working on different projects now, and
Writing?
I'm working on a solo. The biggest thing that I'm working on now is my solo show. It's almost up,
Oh, good.
and you can tell I'm so tired, can't you?
I did a one-man show. Basically, I did my act with a couch behind it.
Instead of a brick wall, you
And
mean?
I called it a one-man show.
I have to put my mic down. I don't have a mic stand.
You want it?
No, what? A
What?
mic stand? Well, it's just awkward because I want to have my water. So every time I want to speak, you're gonna have to cover for me.
All right.
You're gonna have to fill.
I'll sing.
Just fill when I'm having my water. First of all,
There were bells on a hill, but I never heard them ringing. Oh, I never heard them at all till there was you.
Okay. Where did we go back?
You
man?
did it. Well,
Thank you.
I was thinking of, I saw Saget last night,
Yes.
and it's amazing how certain weeks stand out in your life. I know we talked about this 100 times, but we were crying laughing.
You mean with the week with Odekirk and Saget, that one?
Odekirk and Saget. How
and
funny.
Val? Was Val there that
Well,
week?
who
Yeah.
closed the show then? I think we had to have a musician. We worked together a couple times. But this was Vegas, the Comedy Store in the 80s, folks.
Wait, was this the... And now I'm getting mixed up with
Late
the weeks.
80s.
Was this the week... Were you there the week that Saget and Sherry got remarried? Or was
Yeah,
that
I think I was the best man.
And Steve did the video of it?
Weren't you the maid of honor?
Maybe I was.
I think. I forgot about that.
Yeah, 'cause that was when he got the CBS morning show.
Oh, right.
That's why they got remarried, and Sherry was pregnant.
Yeah. And I remember...
I know, we were crying. And then you, when you did, it was when you did You Can Use Your Finger like everybody else.
Yeah, that joke.
And then Steve went backstage and grabbed you through the curtain, grabbed your
Both of
pants.
you. Was it
We
both of
both
you?
grabbed you so you couldn't run.
Because I used to do this thing where I would back up and go, What
It's your dictaphone. It was like, it was.
Can I use your dictaphone? Why don't you use your finger? Oh yeah, can I use your dictaphone? This is what dictaphone. I don't even know what they are. I use your dictaphone. Why don't you use your finger like everybody else?
But then you would back up and you would physically then run.
And then one night they're grabbing me.
Steve Odenkirk and I went and stood back behind the curtain and knew exactly what he was going to do. And at that moment, we just grabbed his pants or shirt, whatever we could grab onto. And he's struggling and laughing so hard. Oh my God, it was so funny. And then what else did we do? I think Saga was emceeing and we threw stuff out on stage when he was emceeing. I mean,
Steve Odenkirk's props.
We were ridiculous. And remember, like, the sets were so short. They were like 10, 12 minutes, and we were like, it's a nuisance. It's like, it was so short, it became a nuisance.
Right.
Because we were having a nice time. I was like, ugh, I have to go on stage.
I remember when Finest Henderson...
Maybe Finest closed.
He probably did because he had music,
Right.
But when he would do his act, and he closed with a Michael Jackson bit.
Right.
And I remember Alan Stevens would always go, "Get to the glove. Get to the fucking glove." Because that we knew once he did Thriller and he moonwalked.
Right.
Billie Jean, I think it was.
Right, yes. And then remember the balloon bow?
Oh, God, how stupid.
Yeah, and there were always like certain people who were afraid, like because everybody wanted to leave early the last show to start to drive back home.
Yeah.
But certain people were afraid that guy, whoever it was who ran the lighting booth, would tell Mitzi if we didn't...
Ted.
Ted, right.
Why do I remember his name?
Oh my God.
I don't even remember why I walked in a room most of the time.
That's why, because you keep these unnecessary things in your brain and you don't have room for the things that you need.
I know, well, yeah. You know what I say? You can't have too much myrrh.
You can't.
Was that the line?
You can't have enough myrrh.
Can't have enough myrrh.
Right. So people were afraid
Tell
that
them
Ted
the jokes so that they know what we're talking about.
Oh, it's about
the three wise men.
The three wise men. Right. How did I set it up that when Jesus was born, the three wise men came to visit him, and they brought as gifts gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Myrrh?
Yeah.
To a baby shower? I guess Mary was very polite about it. Oh, myrrh. How lovely. One never can have enough myrrh. They call us those wise men. They bring myrrh. Couldn't there be something we need, like a cradle? Jesus Christ. A bassinet,
for the love of God.
And blah, 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 blah. So, so then they were afraid because that Ted would tell Mitzi and we'd get in trouble. Ooh. Because we were grown-ups, of course, and we'd get in trouble.
Dominic, wear a black shirt. You're Italian.
Right. How about when she told Jack Grayman, wear a yellow suit and call yourself Jackie Banana?
Yeah, right.
And he did.
It was a good career move for him, huh?
One of my favorite jokes was Jack
alive?
Grayman's. I don't know. He never looked healthy.
No.
Never looked healthy. But, against my better judgment, I laughed at some of his jokes because they were so, like just awful. I mean, but they made me laugh. Like he said, I miss my old girlfriend. She really could take a punch. It was horrible.
Right.
Horrible. And he said, I asked her why she moved here from Australia, and she said that she'd already fucked everyone there.
Ooh.
I know.
Can't breathe.
I know.
The man was a one-man band. He's a riot.
I know.
I never remember his material.
And then he said something about the guy the first guy who invented an enema. He says, I don't feel so good. Maybe if I shoot some water up my ass, I'd feel better.
That's pretty funny.
Just made me laugh. I don't know. When I say these things, I can just think of, I remember myself, and that's why I don't go to I was at the Comedy Store Wednesday night, and I think I've been there in the past 10 years. This past.
I did it Tuesday and Thursday.
Right, and I think I've been there maybe 5 times in the past 10 years. And, I lived there. When I first came out here, I was there 6 nights a week.
I remember seeing you at Catch for the first time.
That was back in New York, right?
First time I saw you at Catch. Did you go out with Middleman before you were a stand-up?
No, I met him my second year as stand-up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She used to go out with this guy, Steve Middleman, who has gotten a chin
Implant now.
implant.
Right. And
Yeah.
he used to do these great jokes about having no chin.
About having no chin, and now he has no act, but he has a chin. Act, chin, balance.
I know.
The yin and yang of life. You ever see him?
Yeah, I do occasionally, yeah. We're friends. You know, we
Yeah,
have...
I knew you become friends.
Yeah, and like you and Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Lisa and I are very close.
I know.
You know, her daughter's my goddaughter.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she was living with me for a while. She's going to school here now. She's going to Georgia. But I love the kid.
Oh, that's nice. How old is she now?
21.
Wow. And is Lisa married?
Yeah.
And how did she meet her husband?
She was friends with her brother.
Oh, wow.
He was friends with her brother.
Isn't it weird where life takes us, you know? It's so weird. You know, when I was here for Bernadette, were you here for Bernadette Luckett's film documentary, or you were probably on the road? But it was great. She did that the comedy Warriors, you know, with the vets.
Oh, yeah?
Iraqi vets, and they helped train them to become
Oh,
comics.
right. I remember
great.
that.
It was really great.
I think I had to sign something for that. I might have been in it. I might have been. I might have brought some people up.
I think you were in it briefly, actually.
I think I had I was emceeing or something.
Yes, you were. It was very brief, but you were not one of the mentors. Yes, you were.
But I remember she asked me to sign something to release it.
Right.
You know?
So I saw JJ and Marilyn were here. I ran into them, and they were here, and I hadn't seen them in ages.
Yeah, they just kind of. JJ and Marilyn Wall, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
JJ and Marilyn Wall.
Stay tuned. We're going to get interesting in about 2 minutes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, he was a writer for Till Death.
Oh, he was?
Brad Garrett's show, which, by the way, I get the biggest residuals from that show, whatever
You
the
do?
fuck they did.
Wow.
Seinfeld, Everybody Loves Raymond, Lou Gatz. I get Lou fucking Gatz from that show.
And is Till Death is it syndicated?
Syndicated, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think they did 100, but...
That's nice.
Yeah.
Very lovely. So anyway, I lived at the Comedy Store when I moved here, and I just loved I remember standing.
Eleanor's a stand-up now.
What?
Eleanor Kerrigan. Remember her?
No.
Oh, she was there while you were there. She was a waitress. Now she's a stand-up.
I don't think I remember her.
Yeah, I'm surprised. So you
maybe I just remember her name.
Maybe.
Okay.
You probably had to run into her.
Okay.
Because she's been there for 15 years.
Oh, I probably would know her if I saw her then. Okay.
You would know if you were in bed with her. 69 and.
I hope so.
Do you know that I
Well, no, maybe I'd need to see her face.
Excuse me. Could you
turn
back?
around for a second?
And I ended up working with Odekirk on a series, on a cartoon.
Barnyard.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
you knew that?
I knew that. Yes.
Yeah. It was fun working with him again.
I know, he's so funny.
But he wasn't directing, so it wasn't, it was too far for him to drive.
Oh, I know, because he lives down south.
He lives in San Clemente.
Right.
And he had this big...
Nixon's old stomping ground.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't the Nixon Library down there?
I think so.
Tricky Dicky?
Yep, I think so.
Did you vote for Obama?
Did I? Yeah.
Well, you're
Would
black.
would you just throw that? Were you waiting for a moment? Were you catching me off guard?
Did you vote for him? I didn't vote for him.
Who'd you vote for?
I don't know. Some lady with the green something.
Green Party?
Yeah.
Who
Green
was
Party.
it?
I don't know. Sarah Silverman, I think.
She would have been an excellent president.
God, did you see how pretty she is in that commercial? Beautiful.
Sarah?
Yeah.
She's a beautiful woman.
But she doesn't doll it up much. But boy, you should see her.
She's very naturally beautiful.
Yeah.
Very naturally beautiful. All right, your turn.
No, why don't you come around more? Start doing some stand-up.
You know, Tom, I'm busy doing a lot of other things.
Yeah, well, good.
I mean, I'm like rehearsing my show, and now I'm getting ready. I'm going to do another Ferguson. My show's about my eating disorder.
You have an eating disorder?
Yes.
Which one?
Anorexia.
You do?
Yes. What are you so surprised? Look at me.
Well, you could be just
Thin.
thin.
Right.
You don't
I
look
could.
sick.
No, I don't. But you didn't know me you didn't know me. Well, when I started stand-up, I weighed probably 10 pounds less than I weigh now. And when I was at my lowest weight, I weighed even less than that.
How much did you weigh?
My lowest, 84.5 pounds.
Wow.
I know, pretty scary.
I have anorexia also.
Yes.
What I do is
yes.
I constantly battle it by eating all the time.
You know, I've not
How am I
heard.
doing?
That's really good. You're doing great.
Thanks. I feel
You're really
good.
doing great. I think you're in denial.
Sometimes I'm bulimic, but then I eat the vomit.
Just like my dog. You know, one of my dogs, I said, "What are you doing?" And he was eating his vomit. And I said, "Tom, what is it?" He goes, "Let him finish. First, let him finish it. He's eating it. Let him finish, and we'll pick up the rug
That's
after."
disgusting.
I know. They're happy with it. He's happy.
So didn't you get hungry?
Oh, God, Dom. It's not about that. It's
You got to
such a-
tell me more, because I tried to help this kid, one of my friend's daughters, and I tried to help her because she always thought she was fat and she was
Yeah.
gorgeous. And I told her about Hollywood and how it's so competitive with beauty out here and
Yeah.
everything. And I think I helped her eventually, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just tried to be supportive and not going, just fucking, the father was like a state trooper, goes, just fucking eat.
Exactly. I mean,
What are
my
you-
father had no idea. My father would tell me,
You're killing
just open the
yourself."
refrigerator and take a piece of rye bread.
Yeah. I mean, she was lost, she wasn't having her period, you know.
Right,
really.
me too. Right, yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people, like, you know, start losing their hair. I mean, eventually what happens if you get,
Do you have it now?
well, you always have it, but I'm,
I mean, does
you
it-
know, I'm in recovery. I'm healthy, you know.
Why don't you become an alcoholic? That's a lot of calories.
You know, you're full of excellent advice. You really should be a counselor.
I'd be the worst doctor.
You should be a counselor. But it's such a complicated, it's one of the hardest, it's got the highest death rate of any mental illness, up to 20%.
Wow.
And it's very high. And
Welcome to Live from the Laugh Factory, Dom Irrera.
well, I didn't know what you wanted.
No,
If you
I
want,
want
you know,
it. I like this.
But if, and also, it's very complicated because it has really nothing to do with being thin. It has to do with control. And it has a lot to do with, it's a family
Well, it has
disease.
something to do with being thin.
Well, first of all, it's not a third world disease. You're not going to find anorexics in Africa, you know. It's the disease of a
opulent.
fortunate nation, you know.
That's interesting. I never thought of that.
But you know, it's someone who feels that it's usually women, but there are some men who are anorexic. But if you feel like you're never good enough, you can. This is something that you can lean towards. I mean, this is a disease that you can kind of fall into.
I can tell you, quite frankly, you were never good enough.
And so there you go.
So what's the problem?
Right.
No, I that's interesting. I mean,
And you know, even hearing, I'm telling you something, even hearing you say that, and I know you're joking.
of course I'm joking.
I know you're joking, and I know that you're joking,
still affects
but
you?
there is a sting to that.
I'm sorry.
Because, no, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm not telling you to make you feel bad. I'm telling you how deep it runs.
Well,
and
that's-
I'm almost even crying now.
No.
I swear to you.
I never make anybody cry unless
You do. You would do, but what happens is that you leave the club first and you don't know the
They're
whole
crying?
audience is
They're weeping?
crying. Yes.
Oh God.
It's very intense. And it's a very hard disease to treat. It's like it's because it's such a powerful self-control because you don't want anybody else to control you. So nobody can make you eat. Nobody can make you eat.
God, I wish I could stop eating. Not stop, but
It's really the other side. It's the other side of the coin of that disease.
the other side of gluttony.
It's the other side of overeating, anorexia. You know, it's,
Well,
it's
who dies more, overeaters or anorexic?
anorexics, I think.
That's funny, isn't
pretty
it? Because
sure.
you think of heart disease and stuff. With
Well, what happens is that when you get what happens is the
the
first
organs
thing,
start eating themselves, or
What?
the organs start.
Yes, the first thing that shuts down is your reproductive system, so you lose your period, okay? That's your least important system, is your reproductive system. Then you start eating your muscle. And then your respiratory system, and then, and then you're dead. I mean, that's why Karen
What
Carpenter
saved
died
you?
because
I remember. So go ahead, finish that.
no, she had a heart attack because, your heart is muscle. And
Right.
what saved me?
Yeah.
I had a great family therapist, and we were all in family therapy together, and I think that really helped. That really helped in a huge way. that got me on track. And then I started doing stand-up. I started doing what I wanted to do with my life.
Oh, so you had an anorexia before you did stand-up.
Yes, I started.
Stand-up
I was
wasn't
19.
the cause of her anxiety.
No, I was 19.
Stand-up brought happiness to you.
Yes. I wanted to do stand-up since I was about 13.
Well, I always thought you were terrific, and I always thought that I'm not trying to make up for the thing.
For the thing that you said. Dom,
No.
you will hurt me many, many more times.
God, you got a big mouth. Blabbermouth. Blabber.
Blabbermouth. One of my favorite episodes ever.
Oh, yeah.
When he
are
hits the alarm clock.
I love that. And I love, you know, what one we were talking about today, this is the honeymooners, you know, just to keep the references hip.
And I love how, by the way, I know we're shooting this, but I love how, for the people who are just listening, I love how Dom turns to the audience when he's explaining.
Well, they're over there, but I like this camera better.
Yeah, no. By the way, okay. Because a lot of people are just listening to this, though, right?
Well, I think more people are listening than watching.
But Dom always looks to the camera when he goes, by the way, and he looks towards the camera.
It's part of my MO.
Just so when you're listening and you hear Dom explaining, imagine him turning towards you and saying it.
I'll be right there. Give me a hug.
Give him a hug. Come on, give him a hug. Come over, walk to your iPod. Give him a hug.
Come here.
Okay. Yeah, honeymooners.
The honeymooners were Swanee River.
Oh, yeah, when he keeps yelling at him for playing the intro, and then he goes, who wrote that? And he goes, Ed Norton.
Yeah. That's great.
I know.
Yeah, that we were talking yesterday. The only show that I can watch consistently, sitcom, is Seinfeld.
Really?
That's it. Nothing else. I mean, I do like 30 Rock.
I don't watch sitcoms anymore. I
watch them on the plane, but I do record the Seinfeld.
I don't watch sitcoms anymore.
Yeah.
I watch dramas. I'm so, and I don't watch that much TV, but you know what I got so into that almost obsessively?
Lesbian porn?
Why do you not let me finish my own sentences?
I know you.
No, Fargo.
Fargo.
Have you?
Is that a series?
Yes, on FX.
Is it based on the movie?
It's based on the movie, but it doesn't exactly parallel
Did the Coen brothers do it?
Yeah, they were EPs on it.
What's EP mean?
Executive producers.
Oh.
Dom, and you can watch it. The season's over, and you can now binge watch it. And I think there are only maybe 10 episodes. I can't even tell you how great it is. It's such a work of art. Billy Bob Thornton is unbelievable in it. The characters, the writing, the cinematography, the music. I mean, everything. I can't even tell you. Every actor is wonderful.
Well, you know, somebody...
And I wasn't going to watch it. I was like, oh, God, a TV show from the movie. And then I read a review, and I saw the pilot, and I was amazed.
Kevin Spacey was on an interview show, and he said that the real quality dramas are now on television, not in the movies.
I would agree with him.
Isn't that interesting? Because I
but
think
they're marketed so differently.
Well, I think also the movies are a lot of adventures, you know, like violent.
It's because they're trying to sell. It's a whole different.
Yeah.
There's a different money making system, you know. And there's a lot of movies that I think are shitty, you know.
I couldn't give a fuck about a police chase,
Ugh.
or a police car going over a ramp and landing. You know, I've never seen anyone stabbed. I've never seen anyone shot. In these movies, people get shot every 15 fucking minutes.
I know.
I don't care.
I know.
I like things like Gilbert Grape.
I know, but I have to say Fargo is quite violent, but.
Well, that movie was great.
But it's not. I know, but it's not. I'm talking about the TV show.
But
right
remember
now,
when he got shot in the face and he was paying the. Yeah.
Oh God, Steve Buscemi.
What's his Steve Buscemi? Yeah.
And I watched the finale. I've already watched the finale. I was in Minneapolis last week for the wedding, for my stepdaughter's wedding, and I watched the finale because my mother-in-law doesn't have cable, and so I went down the block and watched with our friends, and it was the best. It was it topped the season, and I've watched it 4 times already because it was such a great episode.
Wow.
I can't endorse it highly enough.
And you knew it was going to happen every time, and you still watched it.
Yes, because
it's like music.
It was so compelling. And I could watch it again. It was so compelling.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Do you know Badlands or Bad Men or AMC?
Badlands sounds like it could be familiar.
Well, if you don't know it, no, because
No.
my friend Alan Havey's in this hit series.
Oh, you're talking about Mad Men.
Mad Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Badlands.
I don't know. What the
Oh,
fuck
I
I'm
was on
talking
Mad Men.
Oh,
I
yeah?
did an episode of Mad Men. You've never watched Mad Men either? You travel so much. But you can do it you can watch it on an iPad or something.
Since Sophie and I broke up, I don't give a fuck about episodic anything.
Episodics? Why?
I don't know.
You're just not interested?
I just don't have the attention span. I have
that's great.
I'm very ADD. you
Well,
know.
good. I mean, stuff like that to me is like literature.
That's what I liked. Hey Arnold, like the cartoon I was in, it was 15 minutes.
Oh, okay then. All right then.
I could barely get through with that.
Oh, you need a bookmark? But yeah, Mad Men's. Alan was amazing in it.
Oh, that's cool.
He was amazing in it. I mean, it was such a great part. And
He's still on it.
He sported. Well, the season's over.
Yeah.
But he sported. It's half over. Then they're going to do the other half of the season, and he will still be on it. But he sports this cardigan all the time, and I mean, he was terrific. And I can't believe he didn't have higher billing for the amount of work he did and the prominence of his character.
But isn't that like a good example of the lure of show business? Here's a guy, he had a couple of tough breaks. He was always a good stand-up.
Yes.
And he had
Terrific
he had his own show on Comedy Central.
Right, or Comedy Channel, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Night Shift or Nightline or something. Night something.
They had the audience of one.
Right,
remember?
exactly, yeah.
And he was very good in that, and it just didn't work out. And then for years, he kind of like drifted around.
Right.
He did a few things, and now he got a series. It's so cool. I mean,
it's great.
That's what sucks you in about this business, because you never know.
That's why I'm still here, because I know what I know, and I know what I love, and I know what like turns me on.
Well, if somebody were to cast you in something, what would your dream be?
I think I would like to be in a drama where I could be funny in it, in a real show. I don't think I would want to be in a classic sitcom that's goofy, that doesn't have substance. I'm gravitating now, since I'm doing my show that really has a lot of really has gravity to it. I mean, I'm really leaning more towards truth and reality and something that affects people, that changes people, that makes a difference. That's what I really want to do. I really want to make a difference. I want to make a contribution.
I think part of that is the reason I love Seinfeld so much, because it shows the selfishness and the indifference and the flaws of people.
Right.
More than at the end, the
hugging, I know the whole no hugging thing.
And
I
they
know.
make up, and I mean the Honeymooners did that, but they were so long ago.
I know, it was a different era.
It seems
right.
They were such brilliant actors, but some of the scripts seem very corny now. Oh,
right.
Baby, you're the greatest. You know.
But it was in the 50s, right? Yeah. I mean, but there you look at some of the shit that's on television now. I mean, it makes me cringe. I mean, I don't watch it.
Did you ever see Impractical Jokers?
No.
The guys from New York, 4 friends from high school. Fucking hilarious.
What is it?
They just do like basically hidden camera stuff. They dare each other to do stuff. If they lose, they got to do a penalty.
Where do I see this?
On the True Network.
Oh, I'll watch it.
It's really good.
Who do you know who's in it?
No, I know the guys.
Who are they? Do I know them?
No, you wouldn't know them because
okay.
they didn't really have any exposure to this show.
True Network?
True Network.
Oh, I'll watch it.
Yeah, really funny.
Oh, good.
They do stuff that you just can't believe they try. And
I mean, look, I like stuff like that. I like the Jerky Boys.
I love the Jerky Boys.
I love them. I still like laughing at this. My shoe. My shoe, and then my shoe fell off.
Yeah. I was hurt at work today.
Right.
Oh, you hurt physically? No.
Someone hurt my feelings.
My boss said some very vicious things to me. He reprimanded me, and it hurt me very deeply.
And then my glasses fell off.
He goes, were you hurt physically? No. Well, I did fall down the steps, and I bashed my head apart, and my shoes fell off. Bashed. Oh, boy, I really did it this time. Remember the one with the firecracker?
All right, see you later, Nits.
Yeah, see you later, Needle Nits. Put Brett Weir on. Who's calling? Put him on. I don't need to talk to you. Hold on. Tell him it's the fucking super from across the street.
Oh, you know this.
He knows who the fuck. Well, the one I like is Uncle Freddie. Remember Uncle
I
Freddie?
haven't heard it in years, but
Uncle
tell
Freddie's
me.
dead.
Oh,
Guy calls
tell me.
up. He goes, I forget what they were called. They were, he's all drunk. He goes, where are you guys? You were supposed to come over here and fix my sink. And he goes, no, you said Wednesday. No, I said Tuesday. What are you calling me a liar? Right? And then he goes, Uncle Freddie, who's Uncle Freddie? Uncle Freddie's not there. Well, I don't know who Uncle Freddie. Uncle Freddie's dead? Hold on, talk to my son. Hello? Is he Uncle Freddie? Uncle Freddie? Uncle Freddie? No, Uncle Freddie didn't die. Who the fuck is Uncle Freddie? I don't know. No, I think you got the wrong party. I'm like, party, that very New York accent. I love them.
That's great.
I work with them in Chicago on a radio show, and the one guy, the Asian guy, kind of.
I didn't even know what they look like.
Oh, you don't know what they look like? One guy looks kind of Pakistani, and the other guy looks Irish.
Okay.
But remember Dan Batali?
Yeah.
Well, he was friends with the big guy,
Okay.
the Pakistani. Anyway,
Right.
but I think the thing about them is the prank phone calls. Once they got so big,
Right.
people were onto it.
Right. You mean they couldn't disguise their voices anymore?
Well, because but you know what they did? They hit on a lot of people that English was their second language.
Right.
So it made it funny because they were confused. You know.
Right. Yeah.
I am the Egyptian magician.
Oh, right. I remember that one. Right. God, I haven't heard that in
take out
ages.
saber and
I have that on tape.
Yeah. Well, I heard it in the early '80s.
Yeah.
At the comic strip in Fort Lauderdale, and there was a bootleg tape.
Right.
It hadn't even been released yet.
Exactly. That's what What did you say? I take out a how did it go? I take out a saber and what?
Take out a saber and I stab customer in the eye.
Right.
You know, but it's trick. I don't really
trick.
do it. It's
Right.
a trick. Then I take out wild mountain cat and sick him on audience members. And your faculty. It says
Your faculty.
Faculty.
Oh man.
I make very, very good sushi. I cook very, very good sushi.
I cook very good sushi.
They're fucking great.
Oh my God.
Yeah, check out Impractical Jokers.
Okay, I will. It's not appropriate for Milan, is it? For my daughter? She's 10?
Yeah.
11?
She can handle that.
She can? She loves
She's
stuff
got a
like
computer in her hands. She
No,
could
but
do-
I mean, is it okay?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's, you know.
It's
they,
not.
They bleep out anything, but it's
Oh,
not.
okay, all right.
And it's not a sexual show. It's more like pranks.
Okay, no, she loves pranks.
Here's
She loves
an
pranks.
example. One time that
She's so fun. You would love her. She's so funny.
I'd love to meet her.
You would love her.
The one episode where they have to take so many things out of a person's, have to eat things out of a person's shopping cart.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just hilarious. This one guy, Sal. This guy's over there getting like some more in the produce department. He's like getting like a head of lettuce. Or something. He goes, "Hey pal, I'm eating your grapes." Boom, the delicious. Boom. Yeah, really funny.
So Milan calls me today from camp. You know, I'm trying to take a nap because I told you I'm sleeping terribly, and I shouldn't gesture with my mic hand. Hello. So anyway, so I'm trying to take a nap, and I see the phone number from the camp. I'm like, oh. So I said, hello, hi. Can I go across the street to Bob's Market with Lauren? I said, oh, Milan, do you have your phone with you? No. I said, well, I don't know.
Well, who was she calling? Where was she calling you if she didn't have her phone?
From the camp phone.
Oh, well.
So I said, well, she said, I'll only be 5 minutes. I said, it's not going to be 5 minutes. I know that. I said, well, has Lauren ever done this? Many times. I said, well, all right, you can do it, but I want you to call me back in 10 minutes. If you don't call me back in 10 minutes, I'm going to be very worried. Okay. Bye. Okay, so she calls me back in 10 minutes. I answer. I go, hi. She goes, hi, we're back, and I'm not dead. She's so funny.
Thank you.
She really cracks me up. And we're going to go to Costco today, and we're buying her a present from my sister and my mother-in-law and my mom. We're getting her a surfboard from them.
Was she in 5th grade?
She's going into 6th.
Yeah, right,
So we're getting her a graduation birthday gift.
Yeah,
And she's going to be thrilled.
It's a fun age. I used to teach 4th grade. I don't know if you remember that.
You did?
Yeah.
When?
In West Philly, in
How long did you do that?
the inner city, man.
Yeah.
I did it for 3 years.
Of course you did that because you and I were on that show together. We were ex-teachers.
You won.
I did win.
I was so proud of you that day for beating that snot.
And and remember that great. I was so
was
proud.
Jimmy Kimmel the host? I mean, was Jimmy Kimmel?
Kimmel was the sidekick.
He was the MC kind of.
Yeah, and
the announcer.
I was so proud of myself for getting. There were 2 questions that I got that I was
You
really
were great.
proud.
I forgot.
Jerry Grody, I got.
Was
I got
that
the
a
answer.
baseball
Jerry
player?
Grody for the catcher, and was it Jerry Grody or Johnny Bench that I got? I think it was Jerry Grody.
Oh.
And a Pope's hat is a mitre, and Ben.
How the fuck did you know that?
I guess from crosswords or something, I just knew that. And Ben Stein did not know that one.
Oh.
And I was so excited to have beat him.
It's funny that I loved it. I remember I was felling, as
You
the
were
Italian,
quelling?
as the Italians say.
Yes.
You know what's funny about you having all that knowledge? I was out with a friend of mine's daughter was going to Boston College, and she brought her girlfriends to see me. So I took them out afterwards. They were like all underage, but they had fake
Right.
IDs and stuff.
Right.
And we go into, it's really loud. And I'm talking to this girl, and she's got blonde hair, blue eyes, really pretty girl, very vivacious, funny. And after a point, I said to her, she was so quick. I said, "Are you Jewish?" She goes, "Yeah. Why are you asking me that?" I said, "You're just funnier than regular girls." I said, "You're smarter and funnier." And then she just started laughing. She goes, "That's a hilarious thing to say."
Do you find that?
Yeah.
Really? I don't think that's certainly, I don't think that's across the board true.
I just think that, I don't want to sound like a fucking, you're going to sound like reverse prejudice.
Right, well, yeah.
It just seems to me the Jews as a culture, as an ethnicity, have...
I think Jews as a culture put a high value on education.
Well, they have so many Nobel Peace Prizes, ridiculous compared to the numbers, They've just so many accomplishments, and from the atom bomb to amazing.
I think that as a culture, they spend a lot of time on education. They want. I think that they do want their kids to be well educated.
It's
and
nature and nurture.
Yeah.
Right now, I was reading this article about...
So I think it's like that with the Asian culture.
I was just going to say that. That's
and look at
exactly...
Milan. She's Chinese and she's got a Jewish mother.
Yeah.
Bam.
Oh, she's going to be a genius.
Oh my God, her head's going to explode.
Do you tweet?
I do tweet.
What's
at
your...
Cathy Ladman.
At Cathy Ladman.
Very cryptic.
I'm at Dom Irrera.
Code.
I got to get my Instagram set up again. It's funny. I think about
I don't use Instagram.
I don't even know. Chris D'Elia did it for me. I don't know. He's
I don't
always
use
trying to
it.
get me.
I really, honestly, I use Facebook mostly, and I use Twitter less often.
I don't use... Lisa does my Facebook for me.
I like it. It's sort of like the interface. I like the visual of it. I have most fun there.
I never saw it.
My Facebook or any Facebook?
I never saw any Facebook.
You never saw Facebook at all?
No.
I like it, and I do good. I enjoy writing on there. I don't really dig the 140 character limit that much.
Oh, with
Twitter.
Twitter.
I enjoy writing, so.
Some people enjoy it too much. They get too long.
Yeah, some people do.
Long-winded.
But you know what? Scheidner basically wrote a book on there. He would put on great essays.
Is Scheidner doing stand-up again?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has such great stories, and he has such amazing recall.
He was so good to me when I started out.
And he's from Philly.
No, he's not.
No? Oh, no, he's from Jersey. But it's like the accent, it was so close.
Yeah, he was like a big headliner,
Yeah.
I remember that he got me into Atlanta and tried to get me. I remember wanting stuff that I didn't even know why I wanted.
Of course.
Like Jerry
because everybody
Stanley.
else wanted it.
Warren, Ohio. I never even heard of Warren, Ohio.
I remember
And
that.
I was thinking, man, I'd love to go to Warren. I'm thinking, why the fuck am I saying? Why would I love to go? Just because I'm not getting it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. My very first road gig was the Punchline in Atlanta.
Yeah?
I was the middle act to Sean Morey, whom I still know, and
I don't know who that is.
Sean Morey. He does some guitar stuff and some straight stand up, and it was a 7-night gig, and the first night I came in, a 6 or 7 night gig. The first night I came in and I
think it was 6.
emceed. I emceed, and then I featured for the rest of the week. And when I was there, it snowed.
In Atlanta? Wow.
It snowed in Atlanta, and it
They must
snowed
have
like a
panicked.
half inch.
Yeah, because
they closed everything.
Yeah.
And I was very struck by the fact that there were alcohol to go cups there.
I like that.
You do?
Alcohol to go?
It's horrible. It's terrible. People
Why?
give alcohol and then say, get in your car and drive? I don't think that's good.
Well, it calms you down. Do you smoke pot?
You know, I used to smoke a lot of pot in college. And then I kind of like tapered off because I couldn't, like, not consciously, but I just couldn't accomplish what I wanted to do while I was
that's what
stoned.
it does.
And then I would just get stoned like occasionally when it was like it just sort of happened when I was on a golf tournament or something and it was fun. But then I was starting to get paranoid and it wasn't fun for me. But now I've started again because I've been getting migraines and haven't been sleeping well, so I have medical marijuana.
Oh, you do?
And that's been helping me, yeah.
Edibles or smoke?
You know, I tried an edible first, and I took a very small amount, and I basically had a bad trip. And I had 2 friends like on the phone with me all night talking me down.
Oh, God.
And then I got to a bit, and then I calmed down, and then I got into a really nice creative place for a while.
Whew.
It was nice, yeah, but it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun initially. It was not fun.
I've heard that. I've heard that about them.
The edibles. I mean, I took a tiny amount, but it came on so powerfully, and it was like, and I was with no one. I was, you know, in an environment where no one else was doing what I was doing. Everybody else was living their normal life, and it was like, oh my God, where am I? You know, either I'm the freak or they're the freaks, and you know, it was just too weird. It was too weird. It was not fun. But then I got a vapor pen.
What's that?
It's like an
I know what
electronic
it is.
cigarette, basically.
Where
you know?
you inhale the vapor instead of I've seen
Right.
that.
And
they have that over at a friend of mine's house. He has these vapor things, and then he has oxygen.
Oh.
So then they clean themselves out with the oxygen.
Oh.
Pretty interesting.
All right.
You know,
but I mean, I don't do it that much. I just do it when I need it, when I need the help. I really honestly don't do it recreationally because I don't have the time.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good that you're busy. I wanted to ask you one more thing about Scheidner.
Yes.
Does he, did he quit, did he sell his act to somebody and start again? I heard he sold his act like to Jeff Foxworthy or somebody like that.
You know, I'm not
That's
sure.
so-
I'm not sure.
I can't imagine selling, it's like selling my soul.
I couldn't do that. Well, you know, how about Seinfeld? I mean, he like completely when he did that show on Broadway, I'm telling you for the last time,
Yeah.
he completely buried an act.
Well,
let it
I told
go.
him he was making a mistake. And I still believe that. First of all, he wasn't ready to do that stand-up, that special.
Right.
Because no matter what, he had done that fucking magnificent series for 9 years, whatever
Right.
it was, 10 years. And he wasn't sharp. His stand-up wasn't sharp at Jerry's level.
Right.
You know, if you were want to talk at different levels, he was still great. He was always great. But I said, I wouldn't do it yet, you know. And, you know, he wanted to do it. Not that he needed advice from me, but...
Why not? Why shouldn't he need advice
then
from
he
you?
got that heckler.
I have to say something. Why do people... I mean, Jerry's a person. Why can't Jerry take advice from you?
Jerry doesn't think he's a person.
Well, Jerry's wrong.
Thinks he's a deity.
He's wrong.
I still like him.
No, I mean, you can like him. It's fine. I mean, I'm not saying that one can't like Jerry and then I can't like Jerry, you can't like Jerry. But he's a person. He's not a deity.
Paul McCartney's not a person. He's a Beatle.
He's a person. He may not think he's a person, but he's a person.
He's not. Anybody who can write Helter Skelter and Yesterday is not a person.
See, that's where people go wrong. That's where artists fail. To me, that's where artists fail when they forget their people.
Well, yeah, that's when they become assholes. Yeah, but I know...
That's my opinion.
Well,
you know, people can
I tell
disagree
you,
with me.
I know a couple of movie stars and a lot of regular people.
Mm-hmm.
And I can honestly say that the happiest people I know are not necessarily the most famous or richest.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all these people who are chasing.
I'd like to be richer than famous. How about you? I'd much rather be wealthier than fame. I don't give a fuck about fame.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to choose, I think I'd like to be more comfortable financially.
I'd like to be filthy rich.
I'd like to not have to worry about paying bills ever. I think I would like to not have stress about money. That would really enhance my life more than people giving me accolades.
Can I tell you something? I've never paid a bill in my life. I've never paid a bill. I always had somebody to pay them for me, and I've had a business manager for the last 20 years.
Well, you're very fortunate.
I know. I don't know how to pay a bill. I'm like functionally retarded.
Wow, you're like Rain Man.
I'm reading. His birthday will be on Wednesday.
You're Rain Check Man.
You see how good you write?
You see?
Look at you over there writing the rain check joke. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, plus you have a family and stuff.
That's also, I mean, I'll tell you something. That changed. I mean, and everybody says that. That changed my life completely. I mean, I used to come to the clubs and hang out and stuff. And once I had a kid, it just changes it. I want to be there for her.
Sure.
I don't want to be hanging out at a club. She needs me. I want to be there for her. It's very important to me, to say goodnight to her.
Did she ever see you do stand-up?
She came to actually the last Ferguson. No, not the last one. A couple of Ferguson sets ago.
Oh.
She came and
It's a
saw
fun
me
show,
do
isn't it?
I like it. I'm going to do it one more time before he leaves, and I'm going to do it about the subject area of my eating disorder.
Oh,
which
good.
is
So
going
it
to
leads
support
into
that.
publicity for
And then
your...
I'm also, you know what else I'm doing that I'm really excited about? I'm doing a TED Med talk. You know the TED Talks that they have? You know TED Talks?
Oh.
They have these really great, like 20-minute talks on, they're all, they're very widely watched on the internet about all different subject matters. And they have a branch of them that are called TED Med Talks that are more specifically medically oriented. And I'm going to do one about my eating disorder, about anorexia.
Oh, cool.
And my show. And see, I'm doing it in September. I'm really excited.
Well, where are you going to do the show at? Do you know yet?
Say it again?
Do you know where you're going to do the show yet?
Well, initially I'm going to start it at my director's theater.
garage.
My garage, which I don't even have. But I'm going to do it at my director's theater in L.A. It's called the Actors Art Theater. It's a very small theater, and then I'm going to move into a bigger space. Oh. And then I want to do it. My goal is to do it nationally, to travel with it, and to do it in theaters and colleges and eating disorder facilities.
You are making me hungry. Cathy Ladman,
You're getting the message.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. I love you. It's great to see you.
I love you too, Don.
Cathy Ladman, see you next week.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, nobody.
Thanks, Kath.